Hi everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. It is Sunday, October 27th, 2024. This has not been widely publicized. I'll give mainstream media the benefit of the doubt as to why. But NASA astronauts returned to Earth on Friday. One of those astronauts was hospitalized after they made their splashdown. The NASA astronaut who was hospitalized after returning from space has now been released. The SpaceX Dragon capsule carrying 4 astronauts, including 3 NASA astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut, splashed down off the Florida coast early Friday, marking the end of a nearly 8-month Crew 8 mission. The crew spent 36 days in orbit, setting a record for the longest human mission conducted by SpaceX, with their spacecraft Endeavour remaining in orbit for a total of 701 days. The mission was initially scheduled to conclude in August, but was extended several times due to challenges encountered during the test flight of Boeing's Starliner capsule and adverse weather conditions, including Hurricane Milton. NASA lost confidence in Boeing's Starliner, so the Starliner came back with no one on board, and SpaceX was sent up to retrieve these 4 astronauts. I believe the other astronauts are scheduled to come back, January or February, on SpaceX. NASA's Matthew Dominic, Michael Barrett, and Jennifer Epps, and the Russian cosmonaut Alexander Grepkin were flown to the hospital for additional medical checks Friday after parachuting into the Gulf of Mexico off the Florida coast, aboard a SpaceX capsule. Now, only 3 of them were initially released and returned to Houston. A NASA astronaut who has not been identified was kept for close observation for an unspecified medical issue. Citing patient privacy, the space agency declined to identify the astronaut or release details about their condition, other than to say the astronaut is in good health and would resume normal post-flight reconditioning with other crew members. A later update by NASA said that after an overnight stay at Ascension Sacred Heart, Pensacola in Florida, our NASA astronaut was released and returned to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston today. It can take days or even weeks for astronauts to readjust to gravity after living in weightlessness for several months. The astronauts should have been back 2 months ago, but their homecoming was stalled by problems with Boeing's new Starliner astronaut capsule, which came back empty in September because of safety concerns. Then Hurricane Milton interfered, following by another 2 weeks of high wind and rough seas. Their replacements will be Starliner test pilots Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, whose own missions were extended from 8 days to 8 months, along with 2 astronauts launched by SpaceX 4 weeks ago. These 4 will remain on the station until February. I'll give you a link to the video, but as I watched the astronauts being removed from the capsule, Michael Barrett seemed to struggle, and he needed help to be put into the chair. All 3 of the other astronauts seemed to be able to stand on their own with very little help, but Michael Barrett, he did seem to struggle. Maybe, I'm just misinterpreting what I watched. But the video link will be down below in the more information box for you to review. So I dug a little bit into the astronaut, Michael Barrett. He first worked for NASA at the Johnson Space Center in May of 1991. Employed as an aerospace project physician with KRUG Life Science, Krug. You might look into Krug Life Science. They were recently bought out by another company, but yeah, there's some interesting information about Krug Life Science and their facilities there in California and pollution of the site. There was an investigation in the year 2000. So Michael Barrett worked there from May 1991 until July of 1992. He served on the Health Maintenance Facility Project as the manager of the hyperbaric and respiratory subsystems for the now defunct Space Station Freedom Project. In July of 1992, he was assigned as NASA Aviation Medical Examiner, working in Space Shuttle medical operations. Now, this Krug operations, or this Krug Life Science business, they were associated with the Department of Defense. Like I said, there's very little coverage about their splashdown that they made there in the Gulf of Mexico. I originally said it was the Atlantic Ocean, but it was the Gulf of Mexico. And working for NASA, citing his privacy as a reason, whoever it was, if it was in fact this astronaut, I don't know, I'm just guessing. Privacy concerns, why they're not giving out more information about their health, especially after such a long time in space. You know, it can affect their eyesight and all kinds of things. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless y'all. Bye.